Well, folks, it's time for me to pipe up. I'm going to give you a part two of my Allstate experience is pretty putrid. Now, I've got over here a nice chunk of beef. How about if I represent it? Okay. And I'll tell you about my Burger King experience, and I'm going to tell you about these turds. Imagine they changed their name to Bridgestone because they want to play the game with flat rate. Nobody works for flat rate. Okay, that gets us to Allstate. What the turds at Allstate did is what they're doing to the people in California and everywhere else that have an accident, okay? They're going to give you about a half. They're giving me a little better than $1,000, a couple bucks more for $2,000 worth of damage when the paint costs, with the flex agent, the tinted primer, and clear coat, a little over $700, a $250 bumper cover, $200 in headlights, and I always put new bulbs in. Don't care if it's me, a relative. If I tear it apart, that other stuff goes in case something else burns out. I don't put used stuff in. So, Allstate's game is, they're going to tell me that I've got to put used parts in, even though it's my mother's car, a customer's car. And he was telling me about this fantasy headlight. It's at LKQ. I have it on my phone because I'm battling with this other turd right now. He's avoiding my phone calls. I'm going to put it up. I'll put his number on here. My emails to him, they disappear. He has a phone number he doesn't answer because I've already stated they're giving me, the damage is $2,500 if you charged labor. They're giving me a little better than $1,000 to buy basically $1,000 in paint and $500 in parts, and then I have to have the windshield fixed. Don't know if it's going to break. I have a good glass shop up here. Jeff Pensock, I'm not going to lie about the guy. He's awesome. Okay? So, we're going to turn our attention to what Allstate is doing to most of their customers. Don't care if your house burned down, if the hurricane blew it down. Okay, you're going to get about half to quarter of what it's worth. And I am going to take them to court, and I'm probably not going to get anywhere. You see, they're Yamaka controlled. That's like, America is like a store. It's a supermarket now. Everything's going out of business, and the rats are eating it. You see, it started with like A&A Auto Parts. Their lease stores were all those, from those Yamaka guys up in New York and Pennsylvania here, New Jersey. A&A just... Well, you see, AutoZone's starting to do that now, and so is Advanced Auto Parts. Because the Yamaka guys, they're squeezing them like turnips for everything. And anybody with apartments. And that's why entire buildings, they're falling down. Because all those Yamaka guys want is their money. They run it into the ground and then they sell it to somebody else. And then some dope eventually buys it and ends up paying the taxes on it. And the city shuts them down anyway. Because they were the Yamakas at the city. You're not fixing that building that way. You're doing it the way we told you. You know, the Jews talk about Nazis. Who's the Nazis? When they tell you, and they have code enforcement to tell you what you should do with your building and how you should maintain it. Well, you know where that goes from there. There's no fairness in the law. And it's part of what Trump's going through. He's a typical politician, debate the point. He just started mentioning healthcare this month. Wow! It's almost 2 years into his tenure. He's going into 2 years, and this November it'll be 2 years. And he just, well, we're going to have the healthcare, the great healthcare plan. And then we're going to build a battleship with no guns and no armament for $20 billion or twice what an aircraft carrier. Put goddamn guns on it that can't be shot down. You put big bullets on it. Okay? Not like Yuri puts the bullets in backwards in the clip over there in Russia. Okay? We do need something that's invincible, that's not going to be taken out by electronic warfare, that you can target an enemy and still hit them with manual analog targeting. Remember how I got drafted into Iraq? How did I get drafted in Iraq? I flew analog aircraft. Nobody else was. And they weren't teaching people to fly analog aircraft. As a matter of fact, if you are a pilot, non-government hired, and you're crop dusting with Grandpapa or flying his old Piper or his old Cessna Beechcraft, I don't give a shit what it is, you're flying analog. And unfortunately, most of those guys, they go into some other civilian trade. Sometimes it's aviation, but there isn't much aviation left here in America, which leads me to these turds. And LinkedIn, I wanted to mention LinkedIn. People posted to me, but I can't find their posts. There's no notification. There's everything but finding those posts, because YouTube was one of them. Now, YouTube lets me slide on a lot of things, but as soon as you start talking about Jews, X flagged me, Elon, you flagged me. LinkedIn. Okay? You see, as soon as everybody got a Social Security raise, they raised electric, they raised everything. Those guys with the yarmulke, again. Okay? America is not going to recover from something like this. Okay? What I wanted to tell people is, there's got to be an accountability level. All these rats and rodents are still in the loose. Prickster, Trickster, Waltz. They're committing straight up treason, just like Pelosi did. And Schumer. And the Clintons. They're in with the fucking CCP. And as I told you about the expression about pissing down my back and telling me it's raining, they're scumbags. I need to have a smoke. I'm going to put my beef in, but I had my say about LinkedIn. And just like the auto mechanics are disappearing, there are no transmission mechanics. I'm on LinkedIn and people want a transmission mechanic for $15 to $18 an hour. Do you know what kind of smell that generates just on your skin? It's a combination of moose piss, cat piss, and some other stuff you ain't never smelled before, but you don't. I mean, it's kind of like rotten crude oil. The only thing I could remember is when I got near some of those tankers when I was at sea. I mean, or you'd have a U.S. government oiler roll up. You got to be immune to the smell to even be on a boat like that. Some of the ships, when I went in, they were still oil fired. It's a smell you'll never forget. It is like half-dead dinosaurs and their turds and all their relatives. And I don't want to make crude comments. I mean, I mean to be facetious, okay? But America, as I said, is getting like the store that closed up and there's stuff on the shelves and the rats are eating it. That's basically where we're at. As far as people running over ICE agents, I think they could be a little more tactful. And just like that girl that they shot, they had a license plate number, okay? Even though the cop put himself in front of that car. If I was a cop, I wouldn't have put myself in front of that car. My life's worth more than me. I want to go home and cut my grass. That's why I'm very careful about things I do here. I see a lot of guys, they're doing a lot of things on YouTube, these will start videos. Well, will it start? Will it start? More than likely it's a setup. You got the history on the truck. But should that critter backfire, and should it have a leaking fuel line that runs down the rest of the vehicle, you're probably not going to see that because he didn't have a fire extinguisher. Okay? I see a lot of these guys, will it start videos. When you guys watch Uncle Dutch's videos from me, there's normally a bunch of fire extinguishers. Even here in the kitchen I have two. I have 2 fire extinguishers everywhere but my bedroom. You don't get much heat up there, even from the heater. I would love a girlfriend that provides some heat. And I would like a reason to have a fire extinguisher. That would be all in her. But anyway, my facetious nature, it does, when I'm not feeling good, I'm having lightheaded, dizzy spells and stuff. I have this infection. And I just wanted to say, at Walmart now, they're pushing all these giant carts. I understand that's probably illegals hiding who they're shopping for. Maybe elderly people that don't want to go, don't have the gas. I don't know, but they're getting to be a pain in the ass because every aisle you go down, they're jamming that aisle up with these carts. And it pisses people like me off. I can't get through. And we still have these Spanish people. You try to get through, and then you got 5 or 6 people in a gaggle. They're having some sort of family reunion. It's not my America that I grew up in. People used to be courteous of each other. Getting back to Walmart, I was looking for these potatoes that I have in my refrigerator that I make foods because it has the flavors and the sea salts in it. And the woman literally pushed my cart and pushed me. And with me not feeling good, and I want to tell you something that's about even, I don't care if it's a cop or ex-military. When you push somebody and they're not ready for it, she almost got clobbered. I had her by the hair. I did grab a hold of her. And I just told her, be patient. Because I get to that. When you get to these stores, the stuff, a lot of the good stuff, it's gone and the garbage is there and you got to dig for it. That was exactly what I was doing. And then there was other stuff I wanted out of the same cooler. But, yeah, can you move? And then she shouldered me with a shoulder into me. And I'm going, I'm over 200 pounds. I'm 6 foot. And I mean, she was kind of stocky. But I mean, I just like, and if I had that killer instinct, you could maybe take the Marine out of the Marine Corps, but you're not going to take the Marine out of the Marine Corps. It ain't happening. You're not taking the Marine out of me. And when I'm not feeling good, it was a reaction. Thank God, I'm still, but I'm not feeling good. My eyesight's been affected. My glands are swollen, and I don't even like saying anything like that. But if something would happen, at least I have it on record on this video, that I'm not out of control. It was just as somebody pushed my button and basically assaulted me and pushed me out of the way and my cart. It's like there's no patience left. And people have noticed that driving. By the way, that's how my mom's car got damaged. You know, somebody gets up, they're 20-some years old, 30 years old, they're too stupid and lazy to clean their car off. And then my neighbor left garbage laying in the driveway, had an $80 towing bill because her spare tire was flat. That's on me. The original damage to the car, that's all on me. I did all that. And then I ran over the garbage, and the neighbor doesn't have the balls to pay me, okay, for the towing and the repair of the tires and all the time that I spent on it. You see, I'm just supposed to be Mr. Gracious, and he's building $1 million deck next door. You'll see that next summer. I do like the guy. I get along with him, but if I did that to somebody, I would at least pay him. So, saying that, that's why I can't pay anybody, because I'm getting about half what it's worth to fix my mom's car. Then it gets damaged again. And then I got to deal with Looney Tunes. I'm on this phone continually with this Allstate, and that's what I told you. They filled up my phone. They want you to use that AI network. Don't use it. Well, that's on purpose too. She still has not gotten the first check. They said they sent the check to my mother for the $1,000 on the 10th of this month. It's now the 16th of the month. Oh, well, we don't know. We'll check on Monday where the check is. This is the game with these insurance companies. And this is why those people were unable to build their homes on the West Coast, Hawaii, and the people that got swamped out. Okay? I'm going to put this directly at President Trump. And again, I'm going to beg him to pluck your head out of your asshole. Maybe listen to Elon Musk a little more. He seems to have a little more brain power. All right, I'm going to continue with my roast. Thank you for listening to my videos. And remember about Allstate. They are going to screw you. Most of the insurance companies today are going to screw you. Thanks for watching my videos, folks. Comment and like.